antiquity. Well, what about the cryptic number that the author of Revelation warns the people to be alert to and is cluing them in to a manner in which he can be recognized? And he indicates that this beast can be known by a number, and the number is the number 666. Now, before I explore that number, I want to also mention that, oddly, in some variant manuscripts that go way back in history of the book of Revelation, there is a textual variant in this verse, so that the number that is listed there is not the number 666, but it is the number 616. Now, a textual variant is usually understood to take place when the original manuscript was copied by hand by a monk or by somebody, and in the process of copying, in that laborious, tedious process of copying word for word the text of Scripture, occasionally a letter was missed, or somebody forgot to cross a T or dot an I, or a simple mistake entered into the process. And by this careful study of the existing manuscripts that we have from antiquity, we see that these things happened, and several examples of them. But this may be of special significance, as we shall see in a moment. In the ancient world, cryptograms were a common thing. A cryptogram was an encoded message whereby numbers and letters were related. Now, in the three major language groups that we're concerned about here in antiquity, namely Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, all three of them had systems of using their letters for numbers, so that all three languages were used in cryptogrammatical ways. We're familiar with this even today, at least with respect to Latin, because we are aware of the use of Roman numerals. And Roman numerals are simply Latin letters that have a numerical value, like the Latin letter X has the numerical value of 10. The Latin letter V has the numerical value of 5. The Latin letter M has the numerical value of 1,000, and so on with D and L and I and other letters that have a clear numerical value. Now, this was also true in Hebrew. And if we looked at the name of Nero in Hebrew, we get the name transliterated Neron Kaiser. That is Nero Caesar. And in the Hebrew alphabet and numerology, this name, Nero Kaiser, when translated into numbers, comes to the number 666. Exactly. However, in the ancient world, the Greek name of Caesar changed from Neron Kaiser to Nero Kaiser, a very slight variation in the writing, and the Greek numerical equivalency of the Greek form of the name of the Emperor Nero came out to the number 616. One of the most preeminent textual scholars of the 20th century is a man by the name of Bruce Metzger from Princeton. And Metzger once offered the opinion that in his judgment, as the supreme textual critic in the world today, that his judgment was that in all probability, the textual variant in the Greek that was found in antiquity, where the number is 616 rather than 666, was an intentional variation, so that Greek-speaking people would be able to discern the number on the basis of the Greek language rather than requiring them to know Hebrew in order to understand this encoded cipher.